Bharatiya's philosophical landscape, Nyaya deals with logic, Sankhya deals with ontology, Mimamsa with ethics, Vedanta with metaphysics. And of course, in all these, you come across epistemology, which is the theory of knowledge, where I mentioned about pramanas, different pramana. Pramana is the source of valid knowledge, perception, pratyaksha, anumana, which is inference, pratyaksha, anumana, upamana, which is comparison, anumana, and then shabda or apta pramana, which is expert opinion, and so on. We have abundance of those. Yoga talks about yoga and Sankhya. If yoga is the practical side of it, Sankhya is the theoretical side of it, talks about human psychology. Vaiseshika talks about matter, anu, anu, and so on. And each school of thought, whether you talk about, I didn't mention about what are these Nyaya, Sankhya, Mimamsa, and all that. When we talk about Indian knowledge or Indic knowledge systems, most of the time, there is this 6 darshanas that we mentioned. Shad darshanas. Shad means 6, darshana means vision, the way we see the world, the way we see ourselves. So there are 6 main darshanas that we study in Indian schools of wisdom or philosophies: Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, and Uttara Mimamsa. Uttara Mimamsa is Vedanta, Purva Mimamsa is by Jaimini, Sankhya is by Kapila, Nyaya is by Gautama, Vaisheshika is by Kanada, and so on. So each school of this thought actually depend on the other schools to arrive at these conclusions. They are not independent. They are interdependent schools of thought. But what happened when these Western Indologists in the 1800s and 1900s started translating them into English from Sanskrit, because all these were written in Sanskrit, right? So when they translated them, they started pitting one school against each other. They started saying, oh, Nyaya says this, but that doesn't agree with Sankhya. The problem with such a translation is that these Western Indologists did not understand the spirit behind these philosophies. They are not supposed to be pitting one against each other, but they are in fact complementary to each other. What they do is they develop their own field of expertise. Nyaya, for example, deals with logic. It's only interested in logic, debate, tarka, and so on. Sankhya deals with ontology. It is not interested in what Nyaya has to say. Mimamsa talks about ethics. Vedanta talks about metaphysics. And so when Vedanta and when the Western Indologists pit Vedanta against Sankhya, they did not understand the spirit behind it, because Vedanta is a completely different specialization. And they used a lot of Sankhyan terms such as three gunas, right? Sattva, Rajas, and Tamo gunas, and so on. That is actually from Sankhyan. Sankhyan's are the skeptics of the antiquity. They questioned everything. They did not simply take received knowledge and use it. They questioned everything. Sankhyan's are what I consider the oldest skeptics that human civilization have produced. And Vedanta has taken so much from Sankhya and used that. For example, when we talk about antahkarana means the inner karana is the anta means inside, karana means the inner workings, right? Inner workings of our mind. In fact, there is no English equivalent to it. Mana, mano, buddhi, ahankara, chittam together is called antahkarana. Manas, buddhi, ahankara, and chittam. There are no English equivalents to these terms, and therefore they simply dismissed it. But when you actually go into our Indian Vedanta or Sankhya, you will actually start seeing these divisions within our mind. And at the same way, you have what is called different layers of human psychobiology, such as koshas, Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya koshas. So what medical science does is it addresses mostly the Annamaya kosha, the matter part of it. When you talk about putting stents, or when you talk about doing a bypass surgery or removing kidney stones, or talking about liver, kidney, heart, brain, strokes, and so on and so forth, it is the matter part of it, and that is the Annamaya kosha. So I mean, in Indian philosophy, they have different layers of uh, human human biology or human psychology.